What's up, guys? Gimr, the video game scientist from VG Bootcamp here. It's time to change the meta. I did a lot of labbing, a lot of research, and I'm really happy with what I've come up with. I want to give some shout outs real quick just at the beginning. My brother John for helping me throw this all together. My brother Apostle, always being there for me, co-founder of VG Bootcamp. My girlfriend Chair for helping me film the teaser trailer. That was a lot of fun. And just everybody that is helping make this happen. So let's jump into it. First thing I just wanted to say
I put it up.
Make sure and stick around till the end. I have a very special announcement I'm making, and you guys are going to love it. I'm really excited to do
He's going to showcase his lab
for episode 2 of Gimr's Lab. So make sure and give me a follow. Now, after the whole Phantom footstool disaster of 2019, I knew that if I announced this tech, y'all weren't gonna believe me unless the pros backed me up. So I sat down with some of the pros and I showed it to them. But I didn't show them how to do it or how it worked. This was their reaction.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the footstool thing you discovered is really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a long video too. Let's go.
Is it like this is the levels we're getting right now?
All right, there we go.
Fuck. Alright, here we go.
Alright. Okay.
That's.
This is the teaser that he showed.
Like, what are you gonna do?
This is fucking crazy.
Oh shit! Oh.
Why is H-box there? Bro, what do you mean? Coin boxes, man.
Can I see it again?
He's a Wi-Fi god. Put some respect on his name.
It's dealing with so many defensive options at the same time. That's what's so cool about stuff like this.
Oh shit! Dude, it's better because I can spam Nair more.
That's the best part of the video.
I don't think you can punish that.
You can.
Well, I think he's broken the warrior. Oh, it's good. It's like infinite pressure.
Is that like the wave dashing in the air?
Yeah,
This was like, how fun? How fun is this?
Dude, look at the angles you get.
This is my kind of shit.
Bro, if most players safe, everyone is safe. It's really broken.
It's like
Once this is actually a thing.
Alright, fuck, I leaked it.
You just instantly leaked it.
Good shit, H-box.
Everything I'm about to show you is made possible by the development of a small group of mechanics rolled into one that I coined the Slingshot. The Slingshot is a small group of overlapping
Sephiroth
mechanics
off the
that
bat.
creates multiple
I like
options
this.
From a singular bufferable starting point.
I like what I'm seeing
Quality
already.
of life change, which leads to input shortcuts and advanced movement options. These new options can be applied to every aspect of the onstage game. At the end of the day, you get more control over your character. The Slingshot consists of semi-technical inputs, but it is lenient in practice. It's our chance to integrate a technique that can create a skill gap for those who are willing to put in the extra work. I truly believe this can change the meta. But as Ultimate players, you're gonna have to be willing to be patient on something that you're not gonna be able to implement into your game in one sitting. This isn't a one-for-one comparison, but it took Melee players quite a while to be able to consistently wave dash, and they rolled with the punches until they got it right. So seriously,
I
if
see.
you really wanna level up, and you wanna have more fun playing the game, take the time to learn.
So it's to make aerials
At the end of the
already.
day, it actually isn't
It's to make
that
aerials that are actually not
It's
safe
really
landing on
simple.
shield safe. Wow, that's actually crazy. Oh, that's actually crazy. Oh boy. Oh boy, why are you gonna show Pikachu? Oh, it's just getting worse. It's just getting worse. We started hot with Sephiroth and it's just getting worse. She don't need that shit. And it's not even just aerials too. Yeah, so, okay. So you can have like so much like momentum retreating that it just makes it either impossible or incredibly difficult to actually punish the person. So it just adds like more movement options and stuff. Well, it's not even just movement options, but it adds like, well, I guess he's doing more movement stuff as I'm saying
So
it. But
I'm sure you all wondered why I put an infinite symbol in the trailer. I wanted to misdirect you guys. You just saw the showcase and you saw how Lucas was moving. Every character in their own way can make a sort of movement loop like this. So that was actually what I was showing. And that's just one little piece of the puzzle. Now the slingshot has different variations and sub-variations. They work differently for each character based on their air attributes. In this presentation, you're going to see a lot of Lucas because I feel like this character is one of the most versatile with the slingshot.
Of course.
So I get to show a lot of
of course it's
different
Lucas.
options with just one
It's
character.
always Lucas for it is
This
the
works
weird
for
tech.
every character. Every character gets new options. Every character gets better spacing. Every character gets to play how they want and avoid the pitfalls Ultimate has when it comes to moving and getting stuck in movement patterns that you don't actually want to do. I'm telling you right now,
Oh,
because this is a
always the
bufferable
same
input
one.
shortcut and a new movement option at its core,
go away.
I constantly think of new uses for it in different parts of the game. There's so much utility this brings to the game. And after this presentation, y'all are gonna find so many more unique uses for it. If you're wondering why I called it the slingshot, it's pretty simple. Mainly, it's 2 syllables, so it rolls off the tongue nicely. Wave dash, slingshot. And also the
I just
name
wanna
kind of
see
aligns
what
with
the input
movement
is.
as well as the controller input. So voila,
Okay.
the slingshot. So let's get into the meat and potatoes a little bit. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how and why slingshotting works, the problems it solves, its different variations and sub-variations, showcase the new options it brings to the table, and show how to apply it in almost every aspect of the on-stage game. In its simplest form, the slingshot is 2 controller stick inputs in quick succession. Dash, forward or back, then down back or up back. But generally down back is a bit better, as it has more utility. If done correctly, your character will dash in the initial direction, but they won't dash back.
Yeah, nah.
For most uses, slingshot is almost always followed
makes
up
sense.
with jump. Technically speaking, that would be like a slingshot hop, but because it's almost always used that way, we'll probably just default to slingshot for that. Now, those 2 inputs I talked about aren't like something that people don't know about, but I think it's mostly known at a very basic level, and nobody really looked into it much further besides doing like full hop rard aerials really fast. But this one simple input like has lots of layers and different mechanics like on top of it. It was all kind of like right there, but like
Probably
wasn't
before it
obvious.
is forever
it was like
safe.
A very simple mechanic. How
basically
would we ever
was.
know? And honestly, I completely found this on accident. And that's why I decided
But yeah,
to
you're
start going
correct.
into it more. There are 3 main slingshot variations: the flick shot, the hold shot, and the full shot.
Or should.
I'm going to explain the flick shot first and use that as a base to go over a bunch of the different mechanics related to the slingshot, and then go over the other variations and reveal more and more. Okay, this is how you do the flick shot. For this example, we're going to do a flick shot that starts with a dash to the left. Dash left, flick your controller to the bottom right, press jump. If done correctly, you'll instantly be facing right, but you'll fly left at max airspeed. And you stay at max airspeed for a bit. And when I say flick, I mean flick, so it goes back to neutral.
Yeah, so instead of just hopping in place or like barely moving, you get the full momentum of your hop.
The goal here is to get the jump out around frame 5, frame 6. It might seem really quick, but when you practice it enough, you'll get used to it. Now, the reason this happens is because you go from max ground speed into your jump squat animation. Jump squat animations have no ground friction, which means for those 3 frames, they're at max ground speed until the first airborne frame. Every character's max ground speed is higher than their max airspeed. So you're in your max airspeed on that first frame. Something that until this was not possible to do this quickly out of a dash. And I'll
committing
get
to
it a little
attack
bit
cancel.
later, but you can do it even faster for a specific reason. Because of this, there are 2 really nice sub variations. One where you hold left, and you have quite a bit of time to do it with most characters, and you continue at max air drift all
What
the way
about
back.
Kazuya? It's slow ass jump. This just sounds like using an item in Persona when it's slowed down, or Persona 5.
And the second one, which doesn't work great on all characters, you drift back. Now, if you're having trouble, I'm going to diagnose your problem and how to fix it. If you notice your character's kind of like not flying back, then your control stick was not neutral on the first airborne frame. It was being pressed in a direction. To fix this, all you have to do is flick it a little bit faster. If your character isn't turning around, it means you're pressing jump before your control stick crosses that threshold. So just delay the jump a little bit. So that's the Slingshot's 3 main variations, and you
Sounds
can already
pretty simple
see
enough.
a lot of movement options being opened up. Next, let's go over the hold shot. The input is similar, but it's a way different.
Timing is just
Instead
have
of
to be quick
flicking the
with it.
control stick, you hold it in that down back diagonal. Just like the flick shot, you'll go from max ground speed to max airspeed. The difference is, on that very first airborne frame, you'll also be pushing back in the opposite direction with decently high air acceleration. Getting that drift input on the first airborne frame actually makes a big difference.
Just flick
You're
it
bursting
faster.
in one direction, and on the first frame, also immediately pushing back.
It's really good because a lot of people
The full shot is the exact
obviously
same
like
thing
doing
as
shield
the whole
grabs
shot.
and stuff
The
like
difference
that.
is, after you press
So
jump,
it's gonna make
you
people
roll your
second
control
guess
stick
at the
from
very
down back
least.
to
Should they
holding full
second?
back.
Should they go for
So on
a
your first airborne frame,
shield
your
grab?
max ground speed
Or-
is competing
or
with your max
Are they gonna
initial
mess it
air
up
acceleration.
so you can
So it
get the
gives
shield
more of a
grab, or are they
boost
gonna do it right?
in the hold shot.
You gotta think about it. Obviously, it depends on what players actually do it. But they'll give it a shot. I'm pretty sure. Our son.
Every character is different though. Some need the full shot to hit certain angles, some need the flick shot, some need the hold shot. It's all based on that character's attributes, and obviously a character like Lucas can like completely overcome their initial momentum, while a big character is gonna have trouble, but still get a lot of movement options from this. Now that we know how to do a slingshot, let's talk about the buffer system and how important it is to slingshotting. Dashes have a 7-frame buffer window. That means if you buffer a dash within 7 frames of another move ending, the dash will come out on the first available frame. And there's this weird mechanic that makes it so if you buffer a dash in that 7-frame window, and then afterwards, in that 7-frame window, you buffer down back or up back, the dash will still come out on the first available frame. But you're still holding down back or up back. This means you have 7 frames to buffer a slingshot, and all you have to do is time the jump right after the previous animation's over. So if you start perfecting a 5 or 6 frame slingshot hop,
That's
you can
good.
buffer
That's
at
good
the
for
very
moves
end
like
of other animations.
you know, like
as
a
you
lot
have
of
to
a lot
do
of characters down tilts.
jump. Now let's take what we just learned about this buffer
The sliding
system
down tilts
and
might be a little
create
tricky though,
a new
like
movement
Sephiroth,
option.
Cloud, and
We're gonna dash forward
Joker.
and then buffer a back dash flick shot. So the jump starts almost right after the buffered back dash starts. And this is what you get. Okay, now let's
Mario
talk
goes
about
pretty
special
far.
moves. This is actually really, really cool. You're able to very easily run back, instantly turn around, and do a buffered special move. So
The
you
video-
got flick
the
shot,
video's
you got
lagging,
hold
by the
shot,
way.
you got
That's
full
not
shot.
on- that's-
With
that's
the
the
flick
stream.
shot, you get your neutral B.
Throw out an attack and then say, "Get the fuck out of here." Oh God, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they showed that earlier.
With the hold shot, you get down B.
I'm punishing the fuck out of that. Hey, I'm punishing the fuck out of that thunder. If a Pikachu were to do that, I'll find a way. I'll find the way.
And with a full shot, you get side.
I ain't scared of that thunder.
I've got your back.
Can he do it on? Can he do the down tilt on shield so I can see if it like
This just opens
goes
up
to the sweet
a
spot?
lot of options because
down tilt
normally
to
this is
the
just way too hard.
sweet
to
spot
do.
side B.
So now you have a very, very comparatively easy
Probably
way
does.
to do this. Now let's add wave bouncing on top of that. It just adds like this really dynamic piece of movement gameplay with your special moves that it just was way too hard to do before.
Sheik don't need that. Sheik don't need anything except to become weaker.
I'm really, really excited to see you guys get creative with your characters. Okay, now let's talk about aerials. Because of the freedom of movement that Slingshot gives you, it lets you do aerials where and when you want to. When you Slingshot with a C-stick, it barely affects your aerial momentum.
Your club, your city. No. Things like a 30-second timer. Yeah, I figured as much. Paladins would be like that. I wouldn't do a nair. I wouldn't do a nair after that forward air. I would just do another forward air or just nothing. You'll likely get punished with Palutena from doing nair that far away. Unless somebody like holds in, obviously, or runs into it. I'm sure you could double jump out of that too, yeah. He's just not showing it right now. Or like he's just trying to show like
For example, when you do
more
down
so
throw
the
back
movement,
air,
so he's trying to land
you do
faster.
attack canceling. It kind of forces you into your opponent. So if you mess up and miss them, you're like inside of them. But if you do a full shot back air, Pally will burst towards them and the back air will pretty much land in the same spot. But because she's immediately pulling back, she'll drift away. And if you mess up, they're not going to be able to punish you.
Well, I mean, if you messing up
One
at
thing I wanted to briefly
0%, you
touch on
shouldn't
is
be using
hurtbox.
Palutena. But I
Many
get what he's saying.
characters,
I get what he's
Slingshot
saying. I get what
shifts
he's
the
saying.
hurtbox back better than back airs. In this clip, Sheik back airs shield, tries to dash away, and gets shield grabbed.
I get what he's saying. But ain't no way somebody
Next
missing that.
clip,
At least it's
shoots the
at
slingshot
0%.
instead and gets away. And with characters like Mewtwo, whose tail is always getting in the way, slingshotting instantly puts his tail behind him. which
Yeah,
gives
that's actually
Mewtwo
true.
So many more options now because you don't have to deal
Yeah,
with running away.
you don't have
and
to
getting
jump
clipped.
away. And yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, now let's talk about shield pressure. This is like one of the greatest things about the Slingshot. Because you now have way better control over your character, this means you can space your aerials on shield better. But not
Boy,
only
this
that,
was his
after you
mind.
hit
I'm
their
just
shield,
like,
you can come back
ooh,
at them and space the aerial again, properly.
I'm sure he is losing his mind. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's fine. That looks pretty fun to deal with. My Sephiroth's already made out of shield game.
And the way that the Slingshot works, it kind of puts you in that position that's really hard for most out of shield options to punish. And then
Yeah, 'cause
you
it's
get
pretty
to come
far.
back on top of them if you want to. And because you save so many frames, this is like the only way to hit someone's shield, jump out of that burst range, they whiff the grab, and then
Of
you
course,
come back on top of them
you can,
and
like-
actually punish.
You can like
the grab.
parry it, the first forward air and like, you know, get a punish and stuff on like most things or all things because they're kind of doing it from high up a little bit. But that's not what he's just trying to show like if somebody's holding shield and stuff.
And because of this, it allows you to hit certain things that are generally just like harder to hit. Like look at this clip of Pikachu punishing multiple out of shield options with Slingshot Fair.
You could have used so much other characters. You think I'm impressed by Pikachu hitting me for trying to shield grab him? That happens anyway. You could have showed so many other characters, and you're showing Pikachu for this. You already can't shield grab this motherfucker.
I want to be clear about something. There's gonna be a lot of people that see this and they're gonna think it's the same as other things that have already been discovered. There's no other way to do this. The other options aren't as quick, are far more technical, so it's hard to consistently do them, and they're just really precise. Let's take instant roaring for example. After the initial dash, you have to do a frame perfect backdash and press jump on the same frame. It also doesn't have all the other options the Slingshot does, and the Slingshot can be buffered and it's way more lenient for mistakes. There are just so many things the Slingshot
7
can
frames.
do. And I know after I put this out,
7
people are going to discover other stuff. Here's a quick breakdown of some of the other things you can do with this. If you do the Slingshot but you don't jump, you can actually buffer a pivot grab in the opposite direction like really, really quickly, like frame perfectly, and it's not nearly as hard to do.
Okay.
Another really cool thing you can do is an instant reverse jump cancel up smash. The difference is instead of holding it down back, you want to hold up back. And then all you have to do is time the jump and the A press. This is like the only way to get a 3-frame
Yeah,
dash
it's so you can do pivot grab. A lot of characters
now,
pivot
this really
grabs
combo probably doesn't actually matter,
much farther
but it's not
or farther reach
possible
than
with the
a
Slingshot.
normal grab, so that's pretty good. Damn.
Let's talk about Shotos. So one, just
oh,
this
no.
flick shot is really good for them. in
Oh
general.
no!
But secondly, if you land with an aerial, you can now do a back air towards your opponent. You can just keep doing it over and over. I labbed and I could not figure out any other way to do this without the Slingshot. The Slingshot allows Peach to dash, turn around float, and back air with ease. The flick shot also allows you to do instant dash forward reverse Z drop items. All you have to do is flick shot and then time the jump and Z press macro.
Okay. I wanted to see the
This
Shoto
opens up a lot of
example.
options because the only way to do this before was with instant roaring, and it was way more precise and hard to do consistently. Another really cool thing is Tomahawk. Now normally people do Tomahawk grabs, but because this thing explodes you so far back so quickly, you can Tomahawk with Slingshot aerials and Slingshot special moves. If you're under a platform, it also makes it much easier to land on the platform with an aerial spaced well.
Okay, let me see. Let me see what the Shotos can do. There's no way he puts Terry as a Shoto. Gimr, come on, dog.
That is the Slingshot. I
Come
really
on.
hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. I've been doing a
Yo,
lot of
yo,
labbing
are
with
you
this,
dead
and,
ass?
I really wanted to just show you all the cool things you could do. I am very certain other things will be discovered and other characters have really cool options with it.
There's
that I haven't
no
even
way.
thought of. And the main thing is, like I talked about earlier, there's a little bit of a barrier to entry. But because it's so lenient, you have like 7 frames because of the buffer window and all that. Once you get used to it, it's not that bad. And yeah, like it could very well, if people are willing to do it, create a little bit of skill gap because you'll have to learn this in order to be able to compete because of all of the options it gives you now, especially when it comes to movement and air momentum and stuff like that. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching this. It's going to be on YouTube. Actually, you might be watching this on YouTube. But yeah, I finally got it out. Working on this for so long, you know, I like because I own 3 companies, I have to find my spots to work on stuff like this. You know, I'm not a content creator. This is like the thing I do for fun. So like,
Hold on, give me a
like
second.
getting like 4 hours a week and like just trying to find a spot where I'm not dead tired to do it. But it was really fun, and I'm happy how it turned out. So thanks again for watching. I actually
got
have
your
a
back.
very special announcement. It's back to the lab with me.
Oh shit.
See you guys next time.
Uh-oh.
And check out this announcement.
More tech.
What's up, guys? Give me the video game scientist from
He made it to the lab.
Let's mix things up a little bit.
Invitational? The Gimvitational. That's next month. I Hazard's on and hazard's off rule set. Oh god, hazard's on Smashville. I like that. Same for town. That's it. Riddles, Cosmos, Sweet, Light, Mars, Void, Cola, and more. Hold on, let me. Wait, he said something about Kagaribi, right? Well, this was supposed to show. Oh, so this is like a little summit, basically, or like summit style thing for other players. You said top 2 from Kagaribi. Yeah, this was supposed to be shown on Wednesday, so Kagaribi wasn't supposed to be over by this point. So it's Akala and Ashimo, if they're able to go, of course. If not, then it gets pushed down to Gact and Dio if they're both not able to attend. Is that it? That is it.